Hello everyone. Today we are going to play a drawing game to create our own wild thing inspired by the story Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. So you can either print a copy of this or just look at it on the screen, but you are going to be rolling to find out how to make your wild thing. And you will need a dice for that. If you want to draw with a pencil, you can do that. I am going to be drawing in black crayon because I think you can see it a little bit better. And then you'll just need some crayons to color with when you're done. So the first roll that I'm going to roll for is the head of my wild thing. The second roll is going to be for the body. The third roll for the arms. The fourth for the legs. And the fifth time I roll is to find out what face my wild thing will have. Now, if I get a 1, it's something in this first row. If I get a 2, it'll be for the second row. The 3 is for the third row, the 4 is for the fourth row, the 5 is for the fifth row, and the 6 is the sixth row. So when you roll, it's a good idea to keep the dice inside your hands and then roll it out onto the table gently so it doesn't go flying across the room. Now I got a 6, so for my first roll, I'm gonna get the head that's all the way down here where the 6s are. So when I make this head, I'm gonna make it up near the top of my paper, and I want it to be about the size of my fist. I don't want to make it too small because then I won't have room for the face. So when I look at this head, I notice the shape is kind of like an 8, except the middle of it's missing. So I'm going to make a big loop for the top of the head, and then a big loop for the bottom of the head. And then my fist should fit inside of it. And then I see there's a kind of an ear on both sides. Looks a lot like a cow to me, or a bull. And then there's the horns. So that's my first roll. For my second roll, I'm going to roll for the body. So again, keep it inside my hands, kind of roll it out gently. I got a 5 this time, and that is kind of that serpent body there in the 5 row. So again, I want the body to be about the size of my fist. So I'm going to make 2 lines down first for sort of a neck space there, and then make that big loop for the body. And it should be about the size of my fist. All right. And then there's a detail here I notice as well. I'm going to use a bumpy line to make it look scaly. So I'm going to do that rows of bumpy lines. All right, now after I roll for the body, my next roll is to find out what kind of arms my wild thing will have. And you'll notice that the arms have the sharp claws. That's one of the things the wild things have. All right, I got a 3. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, and I got serpent-looking arms too. Now, they don't have to go this direction. I could make them going up, or one could be up and one could be down. It's really up to you. All right, so it's 2 lines out and then kind of a loop at the end there for the hand. I'm gonna make this one going up. And then there's some sharp claws. And I have to fit those on as best I can. And then, again, I've got that bumpy texture to make it look like scales. All right, after I do my arms, my next job is the legs. So I'm gonna roll now for the legs. I got a 1. Oh, so I got the kind of the furry legs and almost human feet. I think that's like the one that looks like the goat. That came from that one. All right, and then my last roll is for the face. And I got a 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so the eyes, I notice, are kind of made like loops or raindrops. I'm gonna make them pretty big because they had big monster eyes. And then the little part in the middle is the pupil of the eye. And then the nose and the mouth with the big sharp teeth, which is another part of the wild thing. And I think the eyes for the wild things are also yellow. They talk about their yellow eyes. So now that I've drawn my wild thing, it does help to add what we call the horizon line somewhere above where the feet are so that I can have the ground and the sky in my picture. If I want to draw some of the things from the story where Max went, the kind of the island and the trees and things like that, I could add those things too. If not, it's fine this way. And then I want to think about coloring. So when I color, I'm going to start with yellow because they had those big yellow eyes. That was one of those things that makes them a wild thing. And then after that, I can choose other colors to finish up my wild thing. And they can be real colors or imaginary. So maybe for my serpent body, I decide to use some green. And I always like to blend colors, so I might do it part green and do my 3-star coloring. That means I'm coloring inside the lines. I'm choosing colors that make sense, which for this is imaginary, so most of it makes sense. And then coloring the whole space. And then I'm gonna go to blue. And I'm gonna mix the blue and the green together in the middle. Kind of makes a new color in between. And then after I do that, I think I might even add one more. Let's see what other one I have. I have this darker blue here. So I like to do, we call that a gradient when it gradually changes from one color to the other. I like to do that with my crayons a lot. I also like to try to use the same colors more than one time because then it looks like the different parts of my wild thing belong together. So I might stick with these blues and greens for all of it. All right, so you can go ahead and keep working, but you're gonna color your wild thing. If you also wanna color the background, you're more than welcome to. I hope you have fun playing the game, and I look forward to seeing your wild things.